I've started to bring you some material on the UK 100. This is a series of, well, over 100 councils who have signed up to the idea of beating and surpassing the government's own set net zero targets. If you think this is ridiculous, subscribe to the channel. You won't be alone. There's a lot of people here that think the same. I did a video a few days ago now exposing these councils, the ones that had signed up for it, and provided you with a list. Now, many of you made comments, and as always, it's important that we address what you have to say. And this is one of my comment readback videos. So stand by. Now, let me see what we have here. Douglas. Right, down to basics. Look up and see how our government is paying to have heavy metals sprayed into the air from planes polluting the earth beneath. Until recently, we had contrails, natural trails that dissipated within minutes. Now we have added to them chemtrails that form clouds and shine in the sunlight. We're being lied to and deceived by our government, and the same with other governments, and few governments actually have not signed up to spraying this stuff upon their people. You and many others are saying that, Douglas. You and many others. David Barrett, UK is a dictatorship. It feels like it's heading that way sometimes, doesn't it? And because we never kicked up over mass immigration, the elite, Blair, May, Cameron, think they can get away with anything. They're actually allowing the West to be destroyed. We're a small part of the planet Earth. They're all trying it on. Not what and whatever. UK is bloody doomed if we keep voting Lib Lab Com. David, that last bit, I completely agree with you. I did a video yesterday on this idea of we need to tactically vote Conservative or Labour to get rid of the Mayor of London. And, you know, people have got to stop thinking like this overall with all of it. Alan, more opportunities to fleece the motorist. Yeah, pay per mile and everything else, higher taxes. And they even want to start applying road tax to the electric vehicles, don't they? Richard, vote all this shower of shite out. Yes, that would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Sam Allison, the best way to do that is upgrade to next grade clean car fuel and stop chemtrailing aircraft fuel is 10 times the effect. User John O'Chowie, I think that is. I'm in Plymouth, and you just put the name up that they are in this plan. God help us all. The end is nigh. Born free, taxed to death. How can unenacted bureaucrats dictate what they're going to do? I thought we had a government for this sort of thing. It's just jobs for the boys. That's the way it feels, isn't it? Rory the Right, I'd like to see some side-by comparisons as to how these councils rank on their DEI policies and quotas along with their financial status. Yeah, I mean, I did a video yesterday as well about the flow of the money. Go and have a look at that. Lunatics running the asylum. I love that screen name. Without asking their employers, surely that's malfeasance in a public office. And I bet the boys in blue, who are also public servants, do fuck all to serve and protect the public, as per usual. Douglas? Oh, I agree, by the way. If your council is on the list, send a council a letter informing them to either dump this 100 scheme or face all council tax being suspended and them all being voted out of office. You're not the first to suggest that, and I'm sure you won't be the last. Tony Ball, all they're doing is trying to take away the working person's freedom. So they invented climate change, which is one big lie. When you get the likes of China, India, Russia, who know it's a lie, carry on with life as normal, whilst we get taxed out of our socks. It's disgusting. I tell you, there was a picture I saw. You know that time where we were all forced to, stay indoors and do nothing. It was India, and they took a picture of it beforehand, and it was just completely covered with crap. And then a few days of nothing, and Mother Nature allowed, the area to heal itself. And once again, It just looked beautiful. Just where we just stopped for a time. You can see the effect of all of this. Fuzz 149 Hammer. Why don't they just stick to what we paid them for, emptying our bins, cleaning the streets, keeping the streetlights working is any council's priority. If they just focused on those jobs, they wouldn't be going bust. Absolutely. Douglas, if your council informs you they've signed up to net zero, inform them as a sovereign man or woman you refuse to support them in bringing about the death of the planet, every living thing on it. State UK admits 0.4% CO2. Plants and people start dying at 0.02% CO2. Are our councils run by brainless, stupid idiots? To ask us to support our own demise, or is this their thinking gear blocked up with the shit they're already shoveling? Could be. Councils are the exact same. Negative, shape-shifting, fake, false, weak, cowardly, bullying, incest, inbred magnet. I get the idea. When they're not shooting their negative frequencies, they get another of their creepy version 2 to shoot them for them. Absolutely. Yeah, no one's got any time for any of these people and their policies. Ian Ross, net zero is economic and environmental lunacy. No council has any mandate for this nonsense. The taxpayer will decide. Well, yes, if they're in big enough numbers. Andy Hughes, a few years ago, having voted for SNP, not now I hasten to add, my councillor was giving her statement in Parliament, broadcast on the BBC. I sent her a message of congratulations, as by doing this she was obliged to answer, not dismiss it as a crank email, and by leading her into a false sense of making her head and ego bigger. I went in for the kill. At the time, Nicola Sturgeon was a dictator in charge, and she was doing what the rest of them wanted, and that was make everything we use electric. Gas was to be outlawed eventually, so I asked her just where was all this generation to come from. The national grid was groaning at the seams, and to get to where they want to go, they need to build loads on nuclear power stations beginning now. Plus, as it takes 30 years to build just one, have they not left it a wee bit late? Did I get a sensible reply to this part of the email? Not a cheap. I did send a follow-up email asking her for her reply to the question. And as you know, we were staying at home at the time, her lackey sent me a reply saying that because of the situation, she couldn't answer. To which I said, well, what's that got to do with her sitting at her computer and typing an email? Again, silence. It's amazing how they'll run for the hills, isn't it? Here's the last comment here. Andy, most of those councils are county councils, so we'll force local councils. I hope this ends the same way as the poll tax did, people refusing to pay their councils, running battles with police and authorities. We need to show these scum they were not given any mandate to sign away our money on these pipe dreams. If some lunatic wants to sign up for these lies, let them. Stand on the manifesto that says, despite any proof other than some Swedish twat, we're going to waste millions, destroy the economy, destroy infrastructure, and then fail. See how many votes they achieve. Instead, they'll stand on a platform that says reduce immigration while never intending to do so. That in itself appears to be the big distraction, doesn't it? Keeping us all looking the other way. Meanwhile, as you rightly said, they've got no intention of doing anything about it. Well, that was the comments. Thank you very much, everybody. If you want to see the original video that came from, you can do that one there. There it is. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.